John Cena's presence on WWE Raw in Glasgow, Scotland, was nothing short of electrifying. The moment his music hit, the energy in the OVO Hydro surged, but this time, it wasn't the usual mixed reaction he had grown accustomed to over the years. Instead, the crowd was overwhelmingly hostile. Cena, who had become known for being unshaken by audience responses, took it all in stride. He walked to the ring slowly, his usual smirk slightly altered. This was a man in control, a seasoned veteran who knew exactly how to handle the moment. An unexpected reaction, leaning into hostility. Once in the ring, Cena allowed the noise to settle, yet the Scottish crowd remained relentless. Chants that would normally be censored by WWE's television partners erupted. Despite WWE's best attempts to mute the language, it was clear that Cena was facing an entirely different challenge than he had in previous encounters. Rather than backing down, Cena leaned into the negativity, smiling as he gestured for more. It was as if he thrived on the hostile energy, feeding off it to craft the perfect response. Cena's calculated words, beginning of the end of an era. The first words out of Cena's mouth were deliberate and calculated. He reminded the fans that they were witnessing history, not just because he was in the ring, but because they were watching the beginning of the end of an era. Cena reiterated his plan to retire with the WWE Championship, making it clear that his intentions weren't just about one final run, but about dismantling the foundation of WWE as it stood. The arrogance in his voice was undeniable, a stark contrast to the Cena of years past, who had always spoken of leaving WWE better than he found it. The crowd erupted once more, some throwing up their arms in disbelief, while others hurled insults. Cena's reaction was calm, a chuckle followed by a slow nod, as if to acknowledge that this was exactly the response he had expected. He then shifted his attention to the WWE Championship, citing how, in 2005, he had changed the design of the belt into the infamous Spinner Championship. This move was met with similar outrage at the time, but Cena insisted that he had always been ahead of the curve, always one step ahead of the fans, and this moment was no different. The target. Cody Rhodes Cena then turned his attention to Cody Rhodes. He spoke of Cody's journey, acknowledging his efforts to complete the story, but with a layer of condescension that was unmistakable. He called Rhodes a man living in his father's shadow, someone who had built himself back up only to walk into Cena's playground. Cena's tone was sharper than usual, his words cutting deeper than ever before. He didn't just challenge Cody's abilities, he challenged his very place in WWE, making it clear that, in his eyes, Rhodes was still an underdog pretending to be the face of the company. The crowd attempted to drown Cena out with chants of "Cody, Cody, Cody," but he remained unfazed. In fact, he mockingly joined in, clapping along with the chant before bringing the microphone back to his lips with a smirk. "You all cheer for Cody like he's your hero," Cena said, shaking his head. But let me ask you, where was Cody when WWE needed him? Off playing executive, trying to be a businessman, and now he comes back expecting to take my spot? No, that's not how this works. Cody Rhodes enters the ring. The showdown begins. Just as the tension in the arena reached its peak, Cody Rhodes' music hit, and the OVO Hydro exploded. Rhodes made his way down to the ring, his expression serious. He stepped through the ropes, locking eyes with Cena, but rather than immediately speaking, he let the moment breathe. The atmosphere was thick with anticipation as the two stood inches apart, each man waiting for the other to break the silence. The verbal battle intensifies. The exchange became increasingly heated, with Cena pushing the idea that he was the last great megastar WWE would ever have, while Cody countered by asserting that Cena's time had passed. Every sentence was delivered with intensity, and the crowd hung onto every word. There was no physicality, yet the verbal sparring created one of the most talked-about segments in recent memory. Cena's final warning. WrestleMania isn't just your chance. Then came Cena's final, chilling message. He leaned in closer to Cody, his voice lowering but becoming even more menacing. WrestleMania isn't just your chance to win a title, Cody. It's your chance to prove that you belong here. And when I beat you, I want you to remember this moment. Because when I walk away with that championship, I'm taking your legacy with me. With that, Cena dropped the microphone and stepped out of the ring, leaving Cody standing there, processing every word. The show quickly cut to commercial as the WWE Universe buzzed, knowing they had just witnessed something truly special. The real-world logic. Cena's career trajectory. The justification for Cena's turn now is rooted in the reality of his career trajectory. He no longer needs to be the heroic role model, nor does he owe it to the WWE Universe to stay in that mold. Cena's heel turn is also a product of the industry's evolution. Over the years, WWE has moved away from the traditional good versus evil dynamic, embracing more nuanced storytelling where shades of gray are more compelling than clear-cut heroes and villains. Roman Reigns' dominant run as the tribal chief proved that a beloved figure turning to the dark side can not only elevate their career, but also change the landscape of WWE. Cena, who once carried the company on his back, is now in a position where he can reinvent himself completely. His motivation is clear: frustration. Cena's frustration. The changing of the guard. The character Cena portrays has been through the ringer. He left WWE as its top dog, returned occasionally to pop ratings, and eventually found himself in a position where the company moved on without him. Younger talent, particularly Cody Rhodes, took up the mantle Cena had once held. Seeing someone like Cody, a man who left WWE, found himself outside of it and returned to take the spot Cena had solidified for years, likely fueled his resentment. While Cena has always been known for respecting the next generation, his recent promo suggests that, deep down, he believes WWE should still revolve around him. Cena's frustration is also justified because of the way he was treated by fans during his time as WWE's workhorse. Many segments saw fans turning on him for no reason other than fatigue. Cena gave everything: classic matches, memorable feuds, and countless charity efforts through Make-A-Wish and beyond. Yet fans still wanted him to change. Now that he finally has, these same fans are outraged. This makes Cena's heel turn feel not only justified but poetic. He's giving them what they asked for, but on his terms. The psychology of professional wrestling, reinventing the character. Another key reason Cena's heel turn makes sense is rooted in the psychology of professional wrestling. Any long-tenured babyface, no matter how great, eventually grows stale. Hulk Hogan, the ultimate hero of the 80s, turned heel in WCW and became the leader of the NWO, shocking the wrestling world but revitalizing his career. Shawn Michaels, one of WWE's most iconic faces, had several heel runs that solidified his legacy. Even The Rock, a man who transcended wrestling much like Cena, had his Hollywood heel run in 2003, which became one of his most entertaining phases. Cena, following this pattern, is not only logical but overdue. Cena's new persona, a dangerous evolution. Cena's recent promo solidifies his heel status in a way that makes perfect sense. His threats to retire with the WWE Championship if he beats Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 41 aren't just mind games. They're an expression of his long-standing belief that WWE is his kingdom. For decades, WWE was synonymous with John Cena. Now that he's back, Cena believes he can dictate the future of the company, even if it means holding it hostage. This isn't an illogical villainous move. It's the act of a man who believes he's earned the right to do whatever he wants. The crowd's reaction to Cena's turn only strengthens the argument that this was the right move. When Cena made his return and teased his darker side, the audience initially cheered, thinking they were finally getting the cool heel Cena they had wanted for years. But when he started to fully embrace his new persona, showing outright disdain for the fans and dismissing their support as fickle, those cheers quickly turned to boos. This shift in audience reaction proves that Cena's transformation is working exactly as intended. He's manipulating the emotions of fans who once begged for this version of him. Cena versus Cody Rhodes, a new chapter for WWE. The heel turn serves a larger purpose in WWE's storytelling landscape. Cody Rhodes has been built as the ultimate hero, the man destined to complete his father's story and carry the company into the future. But a hero is only as strong as their villain, and Cena, as an antagonist, is the perfect foil for Cody's journey. This isn't just another challenger for Cody to overcome. This is John Cena, the man who has defined the WWE standard for decades. If Cody can defeat Cena, it will solidify his reign and legacy. But if Cena wins and follows through on his threats, the company itself could face an existential crisis, forcing WWE to create a new championship while Cena walks away with the old one. This type of high-stakes storytelling is what makes professional wrestling compelling. Cena's new persona, connected to his real-life career trajectory as a Hollywood megastar, is unpredictable and believable, making him an even more dangerous opponent.